Hello and welcome to another video from Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today, well, we're looking at something that is now very old, very collectible, and becoming increasingly more difficult to find, especially in this near mint condition. Now, we are looking at the 1978 release by Stafford Pemberton Publishing from their yearly series of Starsky and Hutch Annuals. And this particular one we're looking at today is for the 1979 year. And it's all based on the very, very highly popular American action television series, which ran from April 1975 for 4 seasons through to 1979. There was a total of 92 episodes produced, plus the pilot episode, and they all ran for about 50 minutes each episode. Now, the show starred Paul Michael Glaser as Dave Starsky and David Soul as Ken Hutchinson, or Hutch for short, and it aired on the ABC network. So the whole series and seasons is all based around these two California detectives who are out on the road tearing around the city, and it's all based in the fictional town of City, and they're obviously chasing and locking up the bad guys. Okay, this annual is one of the annuals that was produced on the yearly basis. Now, overall, there was 3 annuals produced, 1978, 1979 and 1980, and this is the one bang in the middle, which is the 1979 annual, and this is the front cover. And it says Starsky and Hutch Annual 1979, and you've got photographs of Starsky on the top left-hand corner, and you've got photographs of Hutch and Starsky in the middle, and Hutchinson on the right-hand side. Authorised edition as seen on BBC TV. Okay, so that's the front cover. Let's turn the cover over to the back. And what have we got on the back? Well, we've got exactly the same again. Starsky and Hutch Annual 1979. You've got Starsky, Hutch and Starsky and Hutch. Authorised edition as seen on BBC TV. And of course, you've got their Ford Torino at the bottom there, which was Starsky's car, the red car with that white stripe running across the roof and the sides. Quick look at the spline. And it says Starsky and Hutch Annual 1979. And you've got the Pemberton Publishing logo at the bottom there. Okay, that is the front and back covers. Let's open it up now and let's have a look at the contents. Okay, so I've opened the annual up, and first thing we see is a photograph from the TV series of Starsky and Hutch in their leather jackets, with the Ford Torino parked just behind them. And a nice big colour photograph, that is, double page colour photograph. Bottom right hand corner, you've got the cover price at the time, which was £1.50, if you can just see that. Okay, let's turn the page over. And now we've got the contents. And it's The Man Who Bought Debts, David Soul, Armed Robbery, It's in the Stars, Stage Fright, Holiday Job, Optical Illusions, Paul Michael Glaser, TV Tech Quiz, Grand Prix, Crossword, Plant Out, Starsky, Hutch, Jeans and T-shirt. Okay, and it says Starsky and Hutch Annual 1979, Stafford Pemberton Publishing, copyright 1978 by Spelling Goldberg, all rights reserved throughout the world, published in Great Britain by Stafford Pemberton Publishing Company Limited. In there you've got the address there, printed in Italy, and the ISBN number is 086030123. You have to excuse me because this book is a shop find. It's never been sold and never really been opened or read. So the pages are going to try and close them, so we're going to have to hold them open as we go along. Okay, so the very first story we come to is called The Man Who Bought Debts, and it is a full story with colour artwork illustrations, and that runs for 2, 4, 6, 8 pages. And then we've got David Soul, and that's his bio. David Soul in 1978, when this was produced, he was 35 years old, and he was born in Chicago, Illinois. Family has 2 brothers and 2 sisters. Education, Europe, Washington High School. Early ambition to be a diplomat. First professional appearance on local radio in Mexico. Okay, I'm not going to read it all, but there we go. So moving on, the next story is a comic strip story in full colour, and it's called Armed Robbery, and that runs for 2, 4, 5 pages. And then we got is in the stars. Starsky and Hutch were playing Monopoly one night in Hutch's flat. They had arrested a fraudulent fortune teller that afternoon. Okay, and that's how the story begins. Okay, so it is a... No, it's not. It's all about the star signs. So that is... that's a little intro to it there. And then you've got your star signs here. So we've got Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpion, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces. So it's your fortune for the year. So the next story is Stage Fright, and again it's a full story with colour artwork illustrations, and it runs for 2, 4, 6, 8 pages. And then we come on to the... Sorry, I'm struggling to keep this open, I'm afraid, so sorry if I'm blocking the view. So we come on now to the next strip story, which is called Holiday Job, and it is a full colour comic strip story, and it runs for 2, 4, 5 pages. And then we've got Optical Illusions. So it says which is the largest spot, but I would imagine they're both the same size. A cube or a flat figure. Yeah, well, it depends which way you look at it. Which figure is the shortest? And I would imagine they are... Interesting, that. Probably all the same size. And which is the longer pencil? And again, I think they're the same size because of the angles of illusion. Paul Michael Glaser. That's a history of Paul Michael Glaser. So he was born 25th of March 1943. So in 1978 he was 35 years old. Where was he born? He was born in a small town called Cambridge in Massachusetts. There we go. TV tech quiz, and that's all about, there's a little quiz there all about TV tech and so on. And then the next story is called The Grand Prix, and it is a full story with colour artwork illustrations again. And that runs for 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 pages. And then we come into the crossword. John somebody found the American Navy. Queen of England. Queen of England. That was Queen Elizabeth. But it's only 4 letters. Interesting. Causes great damage at the seaside. Tidal wave, maybe. Using snooker, that's got to be a Q. Ask your parents who the third man was. Fire-breathing insect. Used to tidy your hair, which has got to be a comb. And so on. So there we are. The answers are around somewhere. We'll find them in a minute. Plant out, well, that's all about different plants. What you can and what you can't do with your plants. There's the answer to the crossword. There. Okay, and then we've got photographs of Starsky and photographs of Hutch, again taken from the TV series. Jeans in t-shirt, which is what they're wearing most of the time in the episodes. And there you've got an image there of Kojak, as played by Telly Savalas. You've got Paul Michael Glaser, who plays Starsky here. Charlie's Angels down here was Sabrina Duncan. Played by Kate, I can't remember her surname, Kate Jackson. And there we are. So that's the answers to a few of the quizzes, I'd imagine. And then the back page is where David Soul is playing his music. David Soul was also quite a popular recording artist back in the day as well, which was the reason why he wanted to leave Starsky and Hutch as the series come to an end. It all came to an end because he wanted to leave to pursue his music career. Okay, so that is the Starsky and Hutch Annual for 1979. So, how well did this annual do back in 1979, I hear you ask? Well, yeah, Starsky and Hutch was very, very popular TV series, even though the series finished in 1979, but it did go on for a number of years with reruns. But so yeah, I mean, it was, at the time it was very, very popular. As with most of the TV, popular TV series of the times, they all produced the annuals. Annuals was very, very big business in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Very, very popular. Anything that had a fairly good following would have an annual produced at the end of the year. Annuals were produced generally, or released, I would say, generally September, October, November time, so they were well in time for the Christmas rush. And there used to be an abundance of annuals being produced pretty much for every popular TV series, for every popular pop star, for every top football team, even for things like Action Man and Barbie, they produced annuals for. So really, really popular thing. And it was pretty much a staple diet that on Christmas morning, when you woke up and you had your Christmas presents, your sack or your stocking, whatever you like to call it, there would always be 1 or 2 annuals, or maybe even more if you're lucky, in your sack. So it was pretty much staple diet for you to open annuals on Christmas morning. And obviously, the more popular TV show, the bigger the run. This was very popular, so I'd imagine these were produced in very, very large numbers. Okay, so let's move forward to 2025, which is where we are today. So what's that? We're moving forward 46 years, or 47 years since the actual point of release. Do these come up for sale very often on the platforms? Well, yeah, I mean, the Starsky and Hutch annuals do pop up from time to time on the platforms, fairly regularly, I would say, various different states of condition. Now, for me, with annuals, it's all about condition, and they've got to be as close to mint as they possibly can to be part of my collection. I know a lot of the collectors are the same with that. You always try and find the best condition one that you can possibly have to add into your collection. So this would be something that would be attractive to those collectors, because this is a near mint condition annual. In fact, if you went into a shop in 1978 to buy this annual, this is exactly how it would have come. Now, the reason this is in such good mint condition is because it was part of a shop buyout that we did, and one of the owners, or the shop was owned by a couple, a husband and wife couple, and the guy who owned it, whenever he would get a delivery of annuals, he would pull out one of each of his favourites and stick them in a box in the stock room. Keep them for himself, basically. Although he never did anything with them, he just popped them in a box, kept one for himself, and the rest of them went up for sale in the shop. But I suppose the years went by, he probably forgot all about them, and they were just left in the back of a stock room. When they decided to retire, and they asked us if we wanted to go in and buy out all the stock, which we did do, it included all the stock in a stock room. And as we were emptying out the stock room, we found this big box of annuals, all brand new, that had never even been on the shelves and never been sold, all in mint condition, and this was one of those annuals. So this particular one is, as you would find it if you had gone into a shop in 1978, or at the end of the year 1978, or even early 1979, to buy these annuals, and this is exactly how you would have found them. So, to answer the question, yes, they do come up on the platforms fairly regularly. Condition, that's various from one to another. And if you are going to buy on a platform, do be careful, because somebody's idea of very good condition could be somebody else's idea of acceptable condition. There's a big scope of differences there between people's opinions. So do be careful, do have a look at the images, and do have a good read of the description before you order it, to save any disappointment once it arrives. And also, don't forget that some of the platforms also use stock images and stock descriptions. So you could be looking at one in mint condition like this as new. However, if there's no new ones available, and there won't be, because this is too old, it will automatically go to the cheapest used item. And that may very well be not what you're looking for. So it could be missing pages, could be tears in it, could be all damaged corners and ripped up what have you, pen marks all over it, who knows. But do be careful. Read, if there's no new items, click that use link and read what it says, because that's what you're going to get if you press buy it now. And you will be disappointed when it arrives, trust me. I know, I've seen it many, many times. And it wouldn't be the fault of the seller either, and it wouldn't be the fault of the buyer. It's just simply the way the platforms work, and you just need to be aware of it and know that if there's no new ones, if it doesn't say new on there and it only says used, you need to read what you're about to order before you click that buy now button. Now, alternatively, you don't need to go for any of that rigmarole. You come straight to us at Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles, where what you see in front of you is exactly the item you will receive should you wish to order. And this particular item is no different to any others, and it is available as of today to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website where you'll be able to find this and many, many other vintage annuals and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. Come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely positive this is something that you will not want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there is something in particular you're looking for, something old you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful vintage Starsky and Hutch Annual with me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next video. So bye for now.